The cruelty is always the point for MAGA. They think this is a game. Why do you think Kristi Noem dresses up in her stupid little outfits? It is because when Donald Trump's mass thugs are invading a city, a blue city, because they don't actually care about crime. If they did, they would address the skyrocketing crime in red states. But when they send ICE in, it's a game to them. It's a joke. Kristi Noem plays pretend because she doesn't actually care about crime and she doesn't actually care about people. The people, the communities being ripped apart, Kristi Noem and Donald Trump don't view them as worthy of our humanity or our empathy. They are smug assholes, and that's how they view the world. And no one embodies that smugness more than Jesse Waters, who just stepped in his own shit and broke down because of it. We're going to get into it all and how Jesse screwed himself. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you, leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we get into Jesse, I want to start with the lies and the narrative he's been pushing, getting called out by J.B. Pritzker right here.
As someone who has myself peacefully protested since I was a kid, I understand the sentiments on the ground from some of the advocates, but I want to say this. Peaceful protesters are welcome. Federal agents who abuse their position to terrorize Illinoisans and incite violence are not welcome. They aren't receiving any orders from Trump to cease and desist their aggressive behavior. Remember, they answer only to Trump, not to the people of Illinois. In case there's any doubt about that, Noem, Bovino, and their agents have been escalating the situation outside the ICE facility and inhibiting the Broadview police from doing their jobs. At one point, state police asked CBP leaders for time to move the crowd to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Rather than give state police time to protect the protesters and the ICE agents, Kristi Noem chose to drive her motorcade through the protesters to create clashes. Shortly after, Bovino came out to threaten mass arrests. These stories are only scratching the surface.
What ICE is doing right now is an attack on America. It is an attack on you, your communities, your freedom to feel comfortable walking down the street without your papers, your freedom to not worry about your friend, your coworker, your family member being abducted off the street by mass thugs. And what's so sad about what's happening right now is there are copycats. People are pretending to be ICE because you don't need identification anymore, and they're taking people up off the street. And how would they know the difference? ICE is causing more crime. But Donald Trump doesn't care. Kristi Noem doesn't care. And Jesse Waters doesn't care. He made a joke of it. And it was right after that he had to break down on air. We're going to get into it, but I want to start with the clip in which Jesse was joking.
And I do feel conflicted, though, because, Jessica, when people say, oh, there's this guy and these ICE people are so crazy, I get mad because it's a lie. But then when she says these ICE people are abducting and kidnapping innocent hairdressers and sending them to dungeons to be tortured, I think, well, that's scaring a lot of illegals to go home themselves. So the next time Jessica brings up all these scare stories about all of these illegals getting rounded up indiscriminately, innocent people being sent overseas, I'm just going to say I agree. Because 2 million illegals have seen these scare tactics that Jessica likes to talk about, and they have left by themselves. And that is actually working on Donald Trump's immigration policy's behalf.
What a smug asshole. What a smug asshole. Oh, people are leaving the country because they're terrified of being ripped up off the streets and thrown into the back of a van and deported to a place where they don't speak the language, being illegally detained and thrown in a torture prison. Oh, they're scared of that. Isn't it so funny? What these fucks don't understand is the very political violence they pretend to bemoan. Oh, my friend Charlie Kirk taken too soon. Fuck Charlie Kirk and fuck you, Jesse Waters. What you're encouraging is political violence. What you're saying to your viewer is go out and make brown people scared. That is what Jesse Waters is saying. Go make people scared. Create this boogeyman. Talk about crime. Hell, commit it if you want to. Donald Trump will back you up. That's what he's saying, is fundamentally what they want is to make brown people scared by lying about crime. and attacking judges who actually want to keep people safe. And it's that right there, those lies about crime, that got Jesse Waters into so much trouble, he had to make himself a little statement right here.
Didn't last very long. Last Tuesday, I spoke about the criminal history of Alexander Dickey, who had been charged with the murder of Logan Federico in South Carolina. I made an error when I stated that former Judge Bentley Price had treated Dickey as a first-time burglary offender and gave him no prison time. Judge Price was not the judge who presided over Dickey's 2023 sentencing. Dickey pleaded guilty in that case to third-degree burglary, a first-time offense, and served just 411 days in prison. A local news outlet, WIS-10, reported that the rap sheet prosecutors used to make the charging decisions in that case did not have Dickey's complete criminal history. We also reached out to 11th Circuit Solicitor Rick Hubbard, but did not receive a response, and I regret the error.
Not so fun now, is it, Jesse? Not so fun, huh? Do you know who I haven't seen make a retraction lately? Rachel Maddow. I haven't seen Chris Hayes. I haven't had to do it. Do you know why? Because I'm not a lying sack of shit who tries to misconstrue narratives, try to push propaganda for a billionaire's corporation to keep people in this country hating each other instead of seeing that what we really need right now is class solidarity. No, that's not what I do for a living, Jesse, but that's what you do. And I just want to spend the rest of this video shitting on Jesse Waters. So please sit back, maybe get some popcorn going, because we're going to have a lot of fun talking about what an asshole this guy is. I want to go back to that clip in which he was encouraging political violence. Does the right not understand that what ICE does every single day is political violence? They use the power of the state to inflict maximum pain on people as much as possible because that is their goal, is to make a big show of just how evil that they can be. And do you know who ICE is currently recruiting? It is people who were former members of the Proud Boys, of the Oath Keepers, of any other right-wing, basement-dwelling, bitch-ass group there is. And that's what these guys are. Because when you want to go around and say, oh, white power, oh, we're the superior race, so I have my swastika flag, and you won't show your face, do you know what you are? You're a fucking bitch. That's what you are. When you're ripping people out of their homes and you have a mask on, you're a bitch, okay? That's what you are. And Jesse Waters, to spend all fucking day, and sorry, I'm upset, so there's going to be a lot of language and there's going to be a lot of anger going on, but they deserve it. They deserve to get called out. For Jesse Waters to spend his life talking about the Ivy League educated elite, the New York media, oh, the media is so liberal. Jesse, you got the most watched show on television. You have the biggest show. You have the biggest cable network. You are in New York City covering your face in makeup, lying about elites while protecting the elite pedophiles who run our country. You're running cover for them, Jesse. That's your job. So don't talk to me about elites while our billionaire president is defending his other billionaire buddy who was trafficking minors, who's the most notorious pedophile in the history of this country, and who was openly best friends with Donald Trump. That is the guy you defend. Those are the guys you defend. So don't even get me started, Jesse. The smugness that this guy brings to everything makes my skin crawl. He doesn't actually care. And this is a thing that I struggle with. Of course, the Marjorie Taylor Greens, the Lauren Boeberts of the world, these people are crazy. But they do believe what they say. They are crazy, but they believe what they say. Jesse Waters doesn't believe what he says. He does it with a wink and a nod. J.D. Vance is the most phony there is. They don't believe it. They are doing it to grift. They are doing it to climb the ladder. And honestly, I don't know which is worse. Because they both scare the shit out of me. But sometimes Marjorie Taylor Greene will say, yeah, maybe allowing these Epstein files to be held by Donald Trump, refusing to release them to the public, not a good thing. Now, sometimes I feel like she's doing that as part of her political gain to seem, oh, I'm a regular person. She's not. I don't want to give Marjorie Taylor Greene any credit. I don't want to take her seriously. But I'm not going to take Jesse Waters seriously. Jesse Waters is a joke. He is the joke that he tells. He is a caricature. He is a puppet of the billionaire class. That's why when Charlie Kirk was killed, Republicans don't care about this. I knew before we even saw Donald Trump starting to talk about the ballroom that he was building, being like, guys, Quite frankly, sorry, I'm going to do the voice. Have you seen my ballroom? Oh, Charlie's dead. The body's not even cold yet. Don't care. Ballroom. Before that happened, that moment, I was like, these people don't care. Charlie Kirk wasn't even a real person. Like, Charlie Kirk was simply a puppet of the guys who funded his show and his movement so that they would encourage young people to keep voting for Republicans who would cut billionaires' tax cuts and destroy our future by refusing to acknowledge climate change. And all the while, the world is getting worse, distract us by saying, oh, you should be unsafe with a black pilot. You should feel unsafe. Like, Charlie Kirk attacked black women for a living. Like, he harassed black women for a living. That was the job of Charlie Kirk. And do you know what? Charlie Kirk was in the Oval Office all the time. He was riding on Air Force Two with J.D. Vance. He was buddies with the president. So do you know what he was doing? Committing political violence upon people of color, upon marginalized groups who he sought to strip the humanity from. That's what he did. So it's really hard for us to take you seriously as a person with, the families. Lots of people have families. Families that you're actively destroying because they're, what's the crime again? Brown. It's being brown in America is the crime. I know we're going on a little tangent here. This is a bit of a rant. But fuck you, Jesse Waters. Seriously. Plain and simple. It's that easy. You are a liar. That is your job. And it is to lie and to laugh at those lies as to get us to believe that they don't have an impact. But they do. What he does is impactful. It is hurtful. It is deeply corrupting to the soul of this nation. And I said, you know who hasn't made retractions? Me, Maddow, Chris Hayes. That's a great group, by the way. 3 of us. Throw Lawrence in there. We'll get a podcast going, maybe. But they also haven't had to pay $787 million for lying about an election. So the next time someone wants to tell you that the media is liberal, keep in mind that Joe Rogan, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson have the biggest podcasts in the world, even though Midas Touch is beating them, that Fox is the biggest cable outlet that there is, and that Donald Trump will censor Jimmy Kimmel, and so he'll censor everybody, by the way. The media is not liberal, okay? The media needs more liberals, needs more progressives, that is, calling out the bullshit. Independent media is more important than ever because I hate Jesse Waters, and I can say that as much as I want, and I'm going to. And I hope you stuck around through this rant because I've been feeling all sorts of ways, and I'm glad that I get to say them to y'all, and that hopefully you empathize, hopefully you feel the frustration, hopefully you're as angry as I am, and hopefully we see some damn elected Democrats feel the same way as well and act like it. But if they don't, we're going to push them, and we're going to keep talking about it every single day on this show. If you want to support that, and if you hate Jesse Waters, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And if you want to support the show another way, click right here. Become a member, free or paid, to my Substack. One of the best ways to support the show. I'm going to keep yelling. I hope you keep watching. Keep on fighting. Don't let them silence you. And until next time, I'll see you soon.